So you're very welcome back to Unstable TV. So thanks so much for joining us on the channel today. We have another special request all the way from our Buy Me a Coffee, and this request comes from...
This comes from Brandon Riskovich. So sorry if we pronounced your last name wrong. Brandon was lovely enough to donate 5 coffees to us, so that's just
amazing.
That's so generous. It's actually unbelievable. So thank you so much for that. And he asked us to check out Tom MacDonald interviews.
Thank you so much for that, Brandon. We are going to kick ourselves off with this, but if this is your first time on the channel, do not forget to
like, subscribe, comment, share. See that bell? Hit it. And if you're back with us again,
thanks. You. So, shout out again to Brandon, and what are we reacting on today, Danielle?
So today, James, Brandon asked us to check out Tom MacDonald on WHITEBOY, Backlash, moving to LA, and this is part 1.
If you'd also like to support us on Buy Me a Coffee, the link is in the description down below. Let's get into this together. Let's go.
Because I know what my intentions were, yes. Bro. Like I know who I am. I know what I wrote. I know why I wrote it.
Yes.
And I know what I meant by the things that I said. And like, you know, there was like a lot of people that flat out were like, "Oh, this guy's a racist."
Well, that's a much younger Tom MacDonald.
I think this is from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, we have Tom MacDonald here. What up, man?
What up, bro?
Once on camera, thank you for inviting me over and you know, chilling with me. It's been a pleasure. Now, this is just kind of like an interview of Tom MacDonald, because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of weird things to say about him, and this is going to be the kind of his side. So this is going to be a series of questions that I ask him. First question is, so you're originally from Canada, correct?
Yeah.
So tell the people how you started here in LA. How did you get here in Hollywood?
Yeah, so like we talked about it earlier, like essentially I was in Canada for a long time. Music scene out there is like super small. So I started off in this place called Edmonton, Alberta, which is sort of like in the prairies in Canada. And I just felt like I just wanted to be someplace bigger, and I had just like bigger goals and I felt like I could achieve in like that town and stuff. So
yeah.
I went from Edmonton to Vancouver, and again, like I just had aspirations for more. And it's not like that I outgrew the scene from a popularity standpoint or anything like that, but just like mentally,
yeah, I
was like outgrowing. Even though I hadn't reached my full potential in that place,
yeah,
I was like already like 10 years ahead of my own ability.
I totally understand.
Head.
Yeah,
you know, it's like putting like a plant in a terrarium or something. It'll only grow like as big as that terrarium,
yes,
and then you move it out and it expands further. So like my whole thing was just like, even though I wasn't there yet with my popularity and my skill set and stuff like that, I just knew that like in order to realize my potential and in order to like sort of cultivate my skills and hone in my abilities, I had to like go to a place that wasn't a terrarium, that just allowed me to expand further.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
So I went on tour through Europe like a few times, which was like super cool. Always like thought I might find some place out there that felt like home, whether it was London or Paris or Amsterdam or whatever, and I found some like really cool places out there that I loved, but I just didn't catch the vibe, man. And then I came out to LA. I was here for 6 months. I just fell in love with it.
LA lifestyle, man.
That's it. Then, went back to Canada for a bit, and I was back and forth for like a few years until I just decided like, yo, okay, like I'm gonna go California full time. So
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into your music here. So your music, in my personal opinion, is one of the best music that I heard recently come out of this new generation of rappers.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
That.
Yeah, that means honestly, and I don't say that about a lot of people, and I mean that 100%. When it started taking off, was it WHITEBOY that like started like to actually like where it started catching fire and people was like, oh man, this Tom MacDonald dude, you know, is that where it started? Was it WHITEBOY itself?
A lot of people think that, but like it was actually like maybe like 2 videos before that. it was Dear Rappers was like the first one.
I seen that one on Facebook.
Yeah. And then it was Hell of It.
That one's super
And then it was
Facebook.
White Boy.
Okay.
So White Boy like was the first one that caused like a largely like negative reaction. It was like the first like I'd already broken like 1 million views on like a few different videos. Like,
so you had like a fan base at that point, but
Right.
White Boy kind of like brought in the new people to be like, okay, this is this dude.
Yeah, it was like Dear Rappers.
It's always the negative videos and the ones that cause most controversy that just like expand people out, isn't it?
A title though, like White Boy, would intrigue a lot of people. I like he played to what the narrative would be, to like, oh look, a white person's rapping, because like you do hear that a lot. They say white boy, or you know, you even hear some rappers saying, you know, you're my favourite white boy just because you're white. Like it was even with the Beastie Boys, they got a lot of stick as well for being white. But the Dear Rappers that he was talking about, that did go super mega viral on Facebook. Like that even made it as far as overseas here, and everyone was just like, whoa, what is this?
He seems very humble as well, Liz. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, he doesn't really forget where he came from, and I like the way he's like popularity, because he's like, in his head it'll never be he made it, but he just cares about his fan base. That's what we're getting from it, and he's humble so far.
Hell of It, that was like 1-2 million views, and then White Boy hit Facebook, and like it traveled certain channels, and that turned into like, it's now at like 35 million.
Yeah, it's doing numbers.
Yeah, so it's like it was a big difference. So yeah, a lot of people did find me from White Boy, but like everything really changed at Dear Rappers and Hell of It.
Okay, so that's dope, man. White Boy hits the scene, man, and you start getting weird people. Like people start taking your words and flipping them, and you know, taking them out of what they originally were. How does that feel? Like you're sitting there, you're this rapper that's coming up, you're finally getting your name out there, and it's kind of negative. How does that, like, what do you do at that point? Like, what did you do? Like, how did you handle it? Because I would have freaked out, dude. I would have just started snapping at people.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I ended up doing that with like records like This House and shit like that. But
that was like a classy like slap though.
Yeah.
Like that was like I'll talk about like I'm out here on like Twitter like cussing people out.
Yeah, I feel you. Honestly, like it's very hard to imagine like what being in that position is like unless you were actually in that position, and like I didn't have the option to just like come out swinging on Twitter, because it was such a massive influx of people coming at me that like you'll
spend hours.
You would spend like 16-hour days for 3 weeks in order to like respond to all that stuff. And like there was like some bigger people, like way bigger people than me, that were tweeting at me and stuff. So
really, wow, that is crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. So it was just like it was the first time in my life anything like that had ever happened. Yeah, it was like super frustrating that like because I know what my intentions were, bro. Like I know who I am. I know what I wrote. I know why I wrote it.
Yes.
And I know what I meant by the things that I said. And like, you know, there was like a lot of people that flat out were like, oh, this guy's a racist. This guy's like whatever. Like he's ignorant. He's like insensitive. Like whatever. Okay, like racist? No. Yeah. Like ignorant? Who isn't at some point in their life?
That's true.
Insensitive? Sure. Like. I'm not gonna hold you, bro.
Yeah.
You know
no, I told you I'm the same way. I'm very blunt. I'm gonna tell you how it is, and I feel like you're very like that in your music, but you can also switch it up in a way where it's like you can be this person where it's like super sensitive, and you can say what you need to say in a different type of tone. It's just that people nowadays just take everything so wrong, man, and it's crazy, because which is why I wanted to sit down with you and really conversate with you, because now it's to the point where you say anything.
Yeah.
People are like, man, fuck this guy. Like, you can be like, dude, I love WWE. No, fuck you, I love AEW.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is fine, man. It's like it's a lot of fun, to be honest. And like, I don't know. A lot of people have like the White Boy record twisted. They're like, like, oh, this guy like wrote a song on behalf of like white people who
Yeah.
feel like they're oppressed or something, and like, it's like not that to me. Like, if that's the way that you're like taking it, then like I think that says more about like the way that you feel about shit than I do, because like I didn't have any like burning desire in me to write a song about like the plight of the white man. Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, that song's not for white people. That song is for me, and I happen to be like a white male person.
Yeah.
So like, to me, it was like when I dropped Dear Rappers and I dropped Hell of It, like a lot of people were like, yo, like, this guy's attacking black rappers in his music and da-da-da-da-da, because I was talking shit about mumble rap and mainstream hip-hop and the content of the music and da-da-da-da-da. And like, my whole thing was like, yo, like, I would never attack a rapper for being of like a particular color. Like, what I did do was attack rappers of a particular content, and like just because like a bunch of those rappers are black doesn't mean I'm attacking black rappers. That's an insane conclusion to come to. So it was like, and that's why I wrote White Boy, because after whatever it was, 3 or 4 months, and like tens of thousands of pieces of hate mail saying that like, you're attacking black rappers and you're this and you're that and da 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 da, I was like, you know, like, I was like, okay, like, if you really think that's the way it is, like, like, you know, so
be it.
So after all the like the I never had any inkling like or desire to talk about race, period. But then after everybody started making it about that, yo, you're attacking black rappers, this, that, and the other, I was like, okay, cool. Like, if this is what y'all want to talk about for forever, then, like, I can do that too. So check it out.
Yeah. So that happens. So
wait. And the worst part about it was not White Boy happens. The worst part about it was like your first question, how does that feel when all these people are like hating on you and stuff? Like, that wasn't like the worst part. It wasn't the people that opposed the message that were like, yo, F this guy, we don't like this guy. That didn't bug me. Like, go ahead, dude. I've like literally had people not like me my entire life. Like, I don't care. The worst part about it was the fucking like real like white supremacists and the real like Nazi type dudes and shit that exist in America. Like, it was those guys that heard that song and were like, yeah, like, this is our rapper, like, and kind of championed White Boy as like their music. And that was the worst part for me. Like, like I wasn't sitting around on Facebook and Twitter blocking the people that were like hating on me. I was blocking like the guys that were championing this song for the wrong reasons. Okay. So that was the most fucked up part.
That's crazy. See, I didn't know any of that. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy because, like, for me, the message was just like, you know, this is where my point of view stays. Like, this is how I look at it through my eyes, and this is how I see, you know, what's going on. You know, that's how I took that song. You know, just like I take, you know, a lot of your songs. You know, I take it from your perspective. You know, I try to put myself in your shoes and see where you're coming from, just as you're trying to put yourself in my shoes to see where I'm coming from. And I think people kind of take that and just, I don't know, it might just be people just doing that on purpose, you know, just wanting someone to hate, you know.
Absolutely.
Back at that. That's what a lot of people don't understand. I think when we're quick to judge a project or something that comes out on the content straight in front of us online, how much he's not going along with the narrative, like his audience, like a white supremacist group champion that, like, that could have got him a lot of views, but he blocked it.
Yeah, that could have been, he could have taken off in a different direction than he is now. But I mean, I feel like he was right for doing that. They're not the nicest groups on the planet, so I feel like blocking them instead of blocking the people that just didn't like the song or didn't like what he said, it was better than just blocking people that were like, this song's not for me.
Yeah, I think that's what's really good as well, which I really appreciate when artists do that, or any type of content creator. You keep the comments there to let both perspectives have a different dialogue about you, instead of like, everything's good. Like, not everyone on the planet can like a piece of content that's put out. Like, it's just not possible.
He wrote the song for his perspective.
Yeah.
But everybody is going to have their own opinion and their own thoughts and ideas after listening to a song. So it's good to hear what people have to say and why they're saying it. And you know, they're not gonna, a lot of people aren't gonna take on board Tom MacDonald's side, even though it's his song and he wrote it.
Yeah.
They're still gonna think it's something else, and that's just kind of what, I mean, that's the job you're in, I suppose, isn't it? You have to take the good with the bad, and you have to let everybody have their own opinions.
That's the beauty of creating content. Everyone gets to interpret it. That's the best part. All perspectives.
There's like, I've never set out to write a song and been like, this one's gonna really make people mad, but like I have halfway through a song read it to Nova or read it to one of my homies and they're like, ooh, shit.
It's homie.
So that happens, man. So you're getting all these people coming at you or whatever. So you do respond with this house.
Right.
So when you wrote that song, like why did you drop it, and like how long did it take for you to sit back and be like, okay, this is how I'm gonna respond?
I don't think it was like, it's weird, dude. Like I don't think it was super like calculated like that. Like, because at first, when there's that many people speaking that loudly at you about like a song in a video, you like start to like question yourself a little bit. You're like, wait, like, am I like
who they
off
say
base here? Like,
yeah,
are they right? Am I this person that they're like painting me as? Like, even though like
It's always
your
the question.
intentions might have been good, like, you know, maybe you are this guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like when there's that many people consistently being that loud at you, it starts to like kind of mess with your head a little bit. So
It's true.
there was probably like a little less than a month where I was like really uneasy about the whole thing, and I like didn't know how I felt about it. I definitely knew I wasn't going to apologize for it.
Say what you mean and mean what you say. I'm the same type of person.
But I'm not like I'm not like the type of person that's like afraid to like admit that I was wrong.
Yeah.
But like being wrong about something is fine, but I'm not going to apologize for the way that I feel, you know what I mean? So I was just like, I'm not going to apologize, but like, how do I deal with this whole thing? So whatever, I'm like digesting it and just dealing with it as it comes or whatever. And then I just like literally like woke up one day and I was like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck like what the internet says. It doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I'm gonna think how I think, feel how I feel, and say how I say, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
And it was like on that day when that just clicked in my head. Like, it was weird because I've never had that type of attention before, so it kind of like sent me through the ringer for a minute. But then one day I woke up and I was like, wait, like, I don't give a shit about this. And then like it was on that day that I wrote this house, because I finally just like found myself in all the craziness, and I was like, yo, guy, like, you're not that dude. Like, let them know who the fuck you are.
Okay.
So
that's where you started kind of stepping into that and be like, okay, this is how I'm gonna, you know, put the pieces into place. Okay.
But it's a little bit of a journey to get there, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I say you have a niche for controversy. I say you're a controversial rapper because, like I said, you can drop it.
I have something to say about the word niche. Niche. It's not niche. That's all I have to say. I do have more to say, but I just thought I'd get that out there first. What are you saying about the, you know, hate comments and stuff like that? Sure, we get that too. And we have days when we're like, what, do we stop? Like, what do we do? And them days get hard.
Some days are difficult. And then you remember, you're on Unstable TV. You're on one of the best YouTube channels around. And then you wake back up and you get straight back into it and slap the internet right in them cheeks.
Absolutely. So, like, we get some comments that are just awful sometimes, and it's like, what can we do? What can we do? And they're asking us to still react and do more videos like this, and it's like, well, which one is it?
We're so confused. Like, they get annoyed, but we literally had, just on the back of what Tom MacDonald's saying, it's like, when he's feeling that way, we had that. We're not going to name them.
Just the same people. It happened a few times.
Yeah, so I can't name just one. And then they come back asking us for our opinion on just about everything. And then they want us to do more videos. Now, we love doing videos. Yep. What is the internet?
Sense. So when he was saying that, you know, when you get down over and stuff, it does happen, and it gets tough.
When he said a month, yeah, you do get a month long. Like, as much as you see us still uploading all that, it's still going on. Like, we still have that.
It's where we just have to take a break because it gets too much.
Do our best to reply to everyone every day, and then just when you're going through some of them, what they're saying to you, like some of it's really nasty. That's part and parcel. We love what we do and we're never going to stop. So say whatever you want. We're going to keep going.
Absolutely.
Anything, and people hate, like, you know, just hate on it. You know, it's either you're going to love it, you're going to hate it, but it's polarizing. You're going to have something to say about it.
Right.
And I compare you to a younger Eminem, because back in the day, as we all know, Eminem would just go out and just say what he felt. You know, that's what he was. So I compare you to that because you're more like, I'm just gonna say how it is. Like, that's just who I am. So you get a niche for it. You know, now you're this controversial rapper. So now you're making music, and it's kind of like, where do I go from here? So in your mind, did you just wake up one day and was like, all right, it's time to piss people off, like, or did you just kind of let the music flow, like you just kind of went with yourself?
I don't think you wake up with that. I think it just happens.
And was like, this is what the people want, I'll give them what they want.
Yeah, or it's not what they want, I'm gonna give them what they not want.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, it was never really like a, I didn't expect to get the hate, and I didn't expect it to be so controversial to do the white boy shit. I just thought that was just like a record. I thought I felt some type of way. I thought it was a good idea. That was a good song, and that was it. So there's like, I've never set out to write a song and been like, this one's gonna really make people mad, but like I have halfway through a song read it to Nova or read it to one of my homies, and they're like, ooh, shit, bro, like, maybe you shouldn't be saying that. And I'd be like, why? Am I wrong? And they'd be like, well, you know, not that you're wrong, it's that, like, those are uncomfortable things to say in these times and stuff. And then I'm just like, so what? So me and you can talk about it in the living room,
but you can't put it on wax.
And that's cool, and it's cool for like you and your homies to talk about it on the weekend when you're at the bar together or whatever. But like, when did this music shit change? Like, I've said it like so many times, dude. Like, this whole thing is like, everything is fucking rock and roll to me. And like, rock and roll was always about, less about the music and more about the message and like screaming the truth to the top of your fucking lungs.
Agreed. Yes.
So like, that's my whole thing, is that like, I'm not here to like make a song that you're gonna listen to in the club with your homies. I'm not here to make a song that you're gonna like just drink to. I'm not here to make a song about Xanax or money or cars or women or whatever the thing is, because like 20,000 of those songs came out this year.
Yes.
I'm not interested in making songs that have already been made. I don't want to.
That's true.
I don't want to make songs that don't need to exist. So that's like my measuring stick. When I write a song, I'm like, does this song need to exist? Is there a space for this song in the world today? And if the answer is yes, then I continue. And if the answer is the song already exists, or it doesn't have some pertinent value to it, then I just don't make it. So like, a lot of my records come from like literally watching the news, or like staying up on social media, or just seeing like what people are talking about, things that my girlfriend says to me, things that we read in the paper and shit. I'll see a headline or read about something, and I'll be like, yo, like, what do you think about this? And then Nova is very liberal, so she'll tell me sort of her point of view, and I'm like, okay, like, I get it, but like, what about this though? And I'll like explain my stuff, and she's like, ooh, like, I don't know, like, and so it's just like, I don't know, man, like, I was born this way, or if you believe in God, like, God made me this way. I think a certain way, I have certain feelings about certain things, and like, it just so happens that like a lot of people don't agree with that. That's where the controversy comes from, you know?
Yes.
I don't sit around with a notebook like,
what's gonna piss people off today?
Against the popular
He definitely does.
I just, like,
100% since we're an open.
Like, a lot of my opinions are unpopular, and like, so be it. And I mean, that's great. It's good for my music. Yeah. Like, I don't ever talk about anything that I don't actually think or feel. So if my opinion's unpopular and that's quote unquote controversial, then like
Except when you
that's
start.
just luck of the draw. It's just like who I am and just the way it goes.
And Wannabe, which is one of my favorite songs. I think actually when I FaceTimed you, I told you I was just listening to it, which is why I FaceTimed you. But so yeah, there's a lyric in there that says, you know, I'm 25 now and I'm confident to say if I don't make it by 30, I'm gonna kill myself. So that lyric really stands out to me in a deeper meaning, because I always wonder what you know, was thinking when you wrote that lyric. Because it's a really touchy subject. Two, it's very it's very deep.
Really...
It's very like cutthroat. It kind of is like, hey, I'm giving myself the option to make it if I know I'm gonna end it, you know?
Yeah.
So what was you thinking in that moment? Like, was you like going through stuff, or was it just a lyric that kind of just fit with the song?
I think it's just like a combination of different things. Like I've always like I'll purposefully, I'm like so hard on myself, I put so much pressure on myself and stuff like that, and the only reason that like I'm able to like execute the amount of stuff that I do in a small short time frame and deliver something that's as quality as what I deliver is because I usually set like really unrealistic deadlines for myself.
Okay.
So like when I'm like, I shoot a video or I record a song or get this album done, I'm like, yo, this video needs to come out on this day. This album needs to come out on this day. And like sometimes those time frames that I set are like completely unrealistic. But I'm just like so driven by having not enough time and too much work that it just doesn't come hell or high water, like cuffs or coffins, it's fucking happening. Like I'm gonna get it done. So, and I excel like under pressure like that.
So cool.
And I have felt like a few times in my music I've sort of like told my future with my songs and stuff, where I talked about like I'm gonna tour Europe, I'm gonna like move to LA or California, or I'm gonna make this amount of money, I'm gonna do that, like whatever, get my sister this, get my parents that, like, and a lot of times those things like come to fruition, and it's like, I'm not saying that I'm like a psychic or something, but they're like projections that I've made for myself and deadlines that I've made, and I seem to always like rise to the occasion when I set those goals and stuff. So like at that point in time when I wrote that line in Wannabe, so I was 25, so I've been making music for like probably 6.5 years at that point. And I don't remember if that was before I toured Europe or when I came back, but either way, like I went to tour Europe twice. I was like homeless twice. I never had any money my whole life. Like I was just like always broke and like always getting fired from jobs and just like struggling, and was living in shitty apartments and just like struggling, bro. And like I think actually at that time I had just broken up with this girl who at that time I thought was the love of my life, and I like that whole thing. Yeah,
that song was kind of, it seemed like it was a really, really good like fuck you song to like the ex, because like I love it because there's like girls in my life and stuff that like when I play that song I kind of feel the same way. You know, because there's a lot of good bars in there, like when you said when I needed you to find me, you went missing. And I feel that on a different type of level, because like anyone that's been through a breakup of love or whatever the case is knows that feeling. You know, so that song is really, really dope.
Word, thanks, man. So I think I was probably like in the dumps because of that that relationship.
That sounds a roller coaster of emotion.
So that sort of, whenever you don't feel good, that's like when you want to do the best for yourself and when you want to excel the most. So I think that was just like a perfect storm of a moment where I was like I said, I set deadlines for myself, and I was just like, I'm gonna set this deadline. Either I like make it or I check out, and that's how badly I wanted it, and that's how bad I felt at the time. So it was just like a combination of not feeling good emotionally and a combination of wanting the world for myself and just giving myself that like ultimatum. Like when I was 16 or 17 years old, I went out and got my first face tattoo.
Okay.
Like a lot of people out here are like, oh, like he looks like another mumble rapper and like blah 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 blah, and they don't realize like, yo bro, like I was like 17 years old before this whole face tattoo thing happened, and I had my eyelids.
I started this face tat shit.
No, but for real, like look at old pictures of me. I was like 17 years old with that shit. And I didn't do it because I was like, I want to be cool or I want to be hard. Like maybe that was part of it because I was a kid and shit. But like my main thing was at 17 years old, I couldn't hold a job. I got fired from a lot of jobs and stuff. And
that was a former wrestler who was the scare of it.
I was like, okay, like if I tap my face up,
there's no going back.
I can't get a regular job. I have to make this music shit work. So that was just like, that's set in stone.
Yeah.
That was like that's it. The decision's been made. There's nothing else to do but win now. So that's like, it's very similar to that line in Wannabe. I'm just like, yo, like either I make it or I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Period. And
Okay.
like, that's it. And like, bro, oddly enough, at 29 years old, Dear Rappers blew up, and
now we're
here
here.
we're here. Crazy.
That's dope, man. That's dope hearing that, you know,
I
because
thought
I'm
you was
the
29
same
now.
way. I kind of made
same.
like fucking far out goals for myself, and I feel like if you don't want it as much as you want to breathe, you're not going to get it. You know, you're not gonna wake up every morning and try.
We're practically
to get
brothers.
it, you know, so I really enjoy that.
Drinking game.
Take a shot every time he says they're the same.
Exactly. That's pretty funny though.
It is pretty
He
funny.
said a lot.
Yeah.
Good interview on style though.
Wow. Tom brought us on a roller coaster on that one. He's a bit of a predictor by the looks of things because it all has went in his favour. I suppose if you set yourself goals like that where you've no plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all that, once you stick with plan A, you will always win. Sometimes you might have to build a bit more on it, but you'll always win if you stick with it.
Like everyone says, there's no planet B.
What did you think of that?
Deep topics there, and it was nice to see him opening up about everything that he was going through in life. It's almost like he was just manifesting everything that was happening, and that's what we like to see.
You can see the growth of where he started to where he is now. The Wannabe song is a bit dark. Like, seeing him now to when he was 3 years ago, because that's how long this interview is. Even then, there's such a massive projection of growth from him. He still keeps it humble and he still keeps it honest as well. And he still does whatever he thinks he should put up.
It started bugging me when people were like, oh, this guy's a clickbait rapper, this blah blah blah, he only talks about this controversial shit. Because I'm like, yo, like I really do this, bro.
Yeah.
Like I make all these beats, like I write these fucking songs, my girlfriend shoots the fucking videos, like I really for real fucking do this.
A lot of language there.
That was very bold language.
So fast forward now.
Right.
So now you're a household name, man. Like people talk about you. You know, it's inevitable. You know, you're a household name. You know, when you hear Tom MacDonald, someone has an opinion. You're a household name now, and you fucking you see a tweet by a guy, Mac Lethal, as we all know, and you're like, what the hell? This guy is coming from my neck as of right now. So initially, what happened? Like what happened with that? How did you feel about that? Because that's kind of, in my opinion, that's like,
Who's Mac Lethal?
it's a
Exactly.
big deal
And why is it
because
coming for his neck?
not only it's someone from a YouTube community, from being having a career on YouTube, coming at you like just straight disrespectful. So not only if that,
That's why he's
it's that
laughing
thing,
about it.
but it's a quote unquote well-known rapper, somewhat. I say somewhat because I didn't know who Mac Lethal was for fucking until I did research. Okay, so
Wow.
so what happened? Like, how did you feel? What did you sit back and was like, ah, man, I gotta put the gloves on. Like, I gotta put the gloves on because you went ham, dude. And I feel like it wasn't even your full potential. Like, I feel like it was just kind of like a a fun sparring match. Like it was a warm up, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So get into that, man. Tell me how did that like go? Like how did you wake up and was like, all right, it's time to destroy your career? Like,
oh man. Well, I'm flattered that you think I did that, but yeah, like I don't know, dude. Like I didn't even like. I'm not really on like the internet like that. Like I don't see something unless like, my fans are like.
So he's not on the internet, but yeah, he knows everything that goes on.
So has he got a researcher working for him, or he said he really does all this? So you have to be on the internet to research your craft if you are really doing it all yourself, like he said.
There's a lot of new stuff that he's talking about you did not find on the mainstream media. So where does he find it?
Yeah, a lot of it's on the internet.
He's telling porkies.
Yep. A few fibs are coming out there. Tom McFibs.
Tom McFibs. Everyone's gonna come for us in the comment section now, but you know what we mean. He has to get it from somewhere. He and Anna aren't gonna tell you a lot of stuff he's talking about.
No.
So where does he find it?
Where does he find it? Hopefully he'll tell us later on in the interview. So let's get back into this.
You need to see something. So I didn't even know that it was a thing. So like when I like initially like responded with my tweet, I don't know if that was like an hour after or if it was like, I don't even remember if it was a day after or 2 days.
Yeah, it was like a day or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because at that point, like people had just kept messaging it to me and like screenshotting it and fucking tagging me or like whatever. And I don't know, dude. I was like surprised I like read it and I was like,
y'all no, but yes.
yeah. I was like, what? And I was like, well, shit, I don't know. I just released Straight White Male, which was sort of like the nail in the coffin for me. I was like, it's gotta be about me.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to. So whatever, I did my like little tweet thing back, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny to
It
me.
was. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. And then I don't know, bro. I was just bored, dude. Like I was like literally just bored, and I was like, I'm gonna see like how far I can blow this thing up. So I posted on Facebook and I posted on Instagram. I just did the whole shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the whole quote unquote press run.
Yeah. I was just like, fuck it. Like, let's just see what happens. Yeah. And I don't know, people were just like interacting with it, and it was like a thing. And like, then Mac Lethal wrote back on Instagram, or I think it was Instagram or something, and it was like, oh, it wasn't about you, like da 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 da.
Which and this is me, as you guys, because everybody already knows, I already said this. I think that was a load of crock, dude. That was a hot steaming plate of shit. Because I read that, and then in the song, when like I did a reaction to the song and stuff, it contradict each other, like what he was saying.
Sure.
And I was like, dude, you're like, it's okay to not like someone, just man up, say, yeah, I said it, whatever, you know? So for me personally, it was a hot steaming plate of shit. Like I was like, dude, like just own up to it.
I think a lot of people felt that way.
Yeah.
At least we know he's not biased.
I definitely like felt that way.
He's just like Tom.
Like, okay, bro, like this is like some weird like backpedaling shit. Like I honestly like, now that it's like so far in the past, I guess that's just like I just don't care about it enough anymore to even try and like further formulate like what I really think was going on there or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know, man. Like it was just really just like birth of like boredom, dude. Like
that's so funny.
I just dropped like that Straight White Male record, and I was having a good time riding off that. And I don't know if I had plans for my next video yet or not, but it just seemed like the only free time I have in my life is like immediately like after a release, because everything prior to that is like getting the video done, editing the video, coloring the video, figuring out
building it up,
figuring out the merch thing, figuring out like how I'm gonna promo it. It's like a big strategic thing. So I had just come off hot off the heels of that video, so now I'm just like have free time, and then that happened, and I was just like, oh well, okay, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like bored.
Perfect
I have
time
free
to promo that new album.
This is
Yeah.
like, could be a fun thing to do, and it was a fun thing to do. So
I think it was great for both parties.
I think so too, dude. Like,
yeah, because it was for me as a reaction channel, man, and seeing it as a fan as well. It was great because not only did it give time for you to shine, but it also gave time for him to shine as well. You know, because
Sure.
a lot of people. I mean, I spoke to a lot of people.
We didn't
who
like
said,
that.
You know, they like his track or they like your track better, whatever the case was.
Film
But
on
at
there.
the end of the day, it brought new people to his channel, which I mean. Lord knows it needed it at the time, and then it brought new
He's not
people
liking
to your channel as well. You know, so I think it was really good.
You gotta write this.
I know.
song,
I
dude,
hope
bro.
so. I've been waiting. I hope so. Look, hey Mac, you have all permission to put Simba TV in a diss track.
Yeah.
I would love it. Let me do a reaction to it.
I just want to
But,
get this song going.
Let's
Yeah,
do.
it was like a fun thing, and like I never wrote a diss song before. I like never been a part of that world or like the battle rap or anything. So it's just like, this is perfect. Like,
Yeah.
that's
And what an outing was it, man?
Let's
It was a
fuck with
good.
it
It
and
was a
find
good
out.
showing.
Yeah,
It was a good
so,
showing for
thanks,
sure.
bro. Yeah, it was fun.
Kind of switched gears with I Wish. Okay, so you took a path of just what I think is your best song. That I heard is I Wish. That is number one for me, and then it goes Wannabe, and then Sad Rappers.
Sure.
So you write I Wish, and it's a touching song.
Right.
It's super like, super well edited, well shot. Nova did a great job. Super just like well thought out of. The lyrics are well thought, and that song does numbers as well. So what was the change of gears that inspired that? Because that song is super like, it's a flashback of time. Like when you hear it, it makes you think of, being a little kid with your parents or whatever, good, happy
Right.
feelings. So
Yeah.
what made you want to switch gears and be like, okay, let me bring the people something showing my other side?
Well, like my whole thing about like the music has always been like, if you're not making music to make other people feel better, then just fuck off and like don't make music. Go do something else. If you want to be like the cool guy at the party or whatever, there's a million ways to be the cool guy at the party. You don't
Yeah.
have to be like a rapper or a musician. Just like,
Be cool.
if you're gonna be a musician, make music that makes you feel good, and in turn it'll make other people feel good, and then those people are gonna tell you, yo, that this record saved me, and that's gonna make you feel good again. You're gonna talk to them, it's gonna make them feel good again.
Yeah.
It's just this like secular thing of like making each other feel good, and like that's what music is all about, is making other people feel like they're like not alone in this shit.
Yeah.
And like that's always been like my whole thing, is I wanted to make music not for money, not for fame, but as therapy for myself.
God he does
And
it
when
for
I
free.
found out that it helps other people, that became like my main motive, was like I want to help other people through helping myself, and that's like a beautiful thing, and I could do that for the rest of my life and be
Yeah.
happy. It just so happened that and I've been making music like that for years, bro, for 7-8 years, and it just never hit. So it just so happened that it was Dear Rappers, Hell of It, White Boy, that shit that hit. And
So people just already had this
So-
image of you
so
inside
I
their
had
head.
to like walk in those shoes for a minute and own that and be like, okay, cool. Like, if you guys want to hear me talk about like how I feel about the rest of the world, then fine. Like, I can do that. But like after I did that, like 3 or 4 times, I was like, yo, like, I'm more than this guy that like talks shit about mumble rap and like has unpopular opinions on race and like all this shit. Like I'm more than that.
Yeah.
Like, and like it started bugging me when people were like, oh, this guy's a clickbait rapper, this blah blah blah, he only talks about this controversial shit. Because I'm like, yo, like I really do this, bro.
Yeah.
Like I make all these beats, like I write these fucking songs, my girlfriend shoots the fucking videos, like I really for real fucking do this. And I just thought it was like important to be like, to give people something that wasn't controversial, that wasn't like on a hot button issue. It was just like, yo, here's like something that's gonna make you smile, and like I don't make music for the radio, but like, make no mistake about it, I Wish is a fucking hit song.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Period. Oh yeah. It's a banger, man.
Like, if you gave that record to like a fucking Macklemore and Kesha, or like, or some pop sort of urban-y pop like group like that, like a Logic and like a fucking whatever, Katy Perry or somebody on the hook, that it'll go. Like, so I just wanted to just be like, yo, look, like, I write music.
Yeah.
So that was like my whole thing. Because I felt like I had starved myself of being able to express that side of myself by doing those other records. And I felt like there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people who liked Dear Rappers, Hell of It, White Boy, blah, 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 blah. A lot of those people felt disenfranchised by mainstream music, and they felt disenfranchised by the government and disenfranchised by social issues and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, cool, well, I can continue presenting you with ways that I feel disenfranchised about shit, and we can find unity, and we can find each other through feeling not good about shit, but like, how are we gonna feel better from not feeling good about shit?
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I'm like, okay, we need this record right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wish.
What he's saying though about defining his character and where he is visually and sonically as a music artist is going to be a bit hard because of what he's known for. He had to walk in the shoes. I understand that, what he's saying. It's like, that's what they know you for now, so you need to stick with that for a minute. And now he's trying to show everyone, look, I'm very diverse. I'm not just a clickbait, or I go against the government, talk about, you know, this. He's trying to tell you from his surroundings how he feels about the world. But it's sad because, like, he's trying to brush back the curtain and let you know he's really doing this. Him and Nova really are putting their heart and soul into it. But it's just going to be seen that he's basically designed by a record label. From some point of view, not everyone, I know some people can see past that, but it's just crazy when you hear how much his heart goes into it.
I like the way that he engages with his audience as well. It's like, you know, these are my thoughts, let me know your thoughts, and we'll see if we can kind of meet in the middle and come up with something that more people can listen to and engage with, and open up a conversation with his specific songs that are about like the government and stuff, because we know he does love songs, we know he does pop songs and mainstream songs and stuff like that. He kind of just does a bit of everything, but it's nice the way that he listens to his fans as well, and they're like, this is what we want, but we want to see this too. And it's like, here you go, here's everything. He doesn't do it for the money though.
So we're looking forward to Tom MacDonald's next free album, concert,
Exactly.
merch, everything really.
I know what he means by that, but there's no point in saying he doesn't do it for the money, because everybody works for money.
Yeah.
Because that's how we have to survive in life. If we didn't have money, everybody would be doing what they want to be great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not.
We all have a job to do.
Yeah.
And look, I know where he's coming from, as in that's not his drive. It's not the whole purpose of like why he does anything is for money, but regardless, you have to keep the lights on and you have to keep alive.
And I love my fans, bro. Most incredible, supportive group community, like, on the internet. But like, just because I love you doesn't mean that I'm not going to piss you off sometimes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Fair enough.
I haven't seen a feature like with you on like another person's songs, or like someone else's song featured you. So are you just not like, are you ever planning to do features? And if so, like, who are some people that you want to, you know, collaborate with and stuff like that?
Yeah.
He has a few
I don't know,
ideas.
man. Like, yeah, I don't know. Music's always been like a super like personal thing for me, and like, I know that like a lot of the records that I write are either like so personal to me that I don't want to have anybody on it, or B, they're like, I'm just like talking wild shit, and like, who's gonna get on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna be the fucking feature on White Boy? Or like, if I was black or some shit, who's the feature? Like, who do you call up for that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not that I don't want to collaborate with people. It's just that, like, personally, I'm just like so self-sufficient that it's like when I have like an idea or some shit and I have the beat and I conceptualize the record, and by the time, like, I'm like this with my work.
Yeah.
So it's like the second I have an idea, I'm like already like executing on it. So it's like I don't really, I've never been like, ooh, like I need somebody else on this song.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, I need 10 more verses to accurately portray what the fuck it is I'm trying to say. So how can I give up 16
Yeah.
to somebody else, like, and feel comfortable with that? But it's not like I never will. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of guys that like I'd love to collaborate with. I won't say any names because like, who knows if they fucking hate me and my
Yeah, that's fair. You don't
like,
really know.
I'm never gonna collaborate with that guy. That guy's a piece of shit. So just like, I don't know, dude. Like, but so when the right people come to me and they're like, hey, let's work on something. Hell yeah, let's work on something. I guess just whatever hasn't happened yet, and it is what it is. Yeah.
Cool. No, I understand that for sure. Because a lot of times I'm the same way. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, when the camera is off, you know, once you find like yourself, like when you start being like self-sufficient, like it's a beautiful thing, you know, because you know you best, you know. So that's really cool. So you dropped "Everybody Hates Me" at the time where everybody hated me. It was perfect timing. You know, your timing's impeccable. So you dropped that song, man, and once again the world goes crazy, you know. This dude thinks everyone cares about what he thinks or whatever, you know. So when you wrote that song, was that like another like nudge to the haters, like, haha, I'm back, like
Like, yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like a funny thing, dude. Like, because I was like living in like in a ghetto. Like my house was falling apart. It's just like I told you earlier, man, like the house was full of like mice and roaches and shit, and like the wheels on this machine had just started spinning, and then like all of a sudden, like, oh, I get to move out of that neighborhood, and like I get to have a nice house, and like I get to, you know, live like how I've wanted to live for like quite a while, and it just seemed like the majority of the reactions I was getting from that people at that period of time were like negative, and I would just always say to Nova, like, yo, like these big reaction channels that keep posting my stuff and they're just like hating on me, and then their video gets 750,000 views, and then my subs go up by like 30 or 40,000. Like, does everybody really realize like how much good they're doing for me by hating on me? Like,
they don't.
get it? No. And like, that was like, it was just kind of like a joke to me. I was like, yo, like everybody hates me, and they're like improving my life like so much just by hating. So that was like just the whole concept. I was just like, yo, like everybody hates me and they're making me stupid money.
Yeah.
Hating. Yeah, so it was just like, I don't know, it just like, I didn't have to think about it. Life just like presented it.
Okay, so it was just like the right time, like right moment, and it really was, man, because that was when, man, people couldn't keep your name out of their mouth, man. Like it was really interesting, because even I would get comments on like random videos and shit, dude. Oh, this good dude likes Tom MacDonald, and I'm like, yeah, and like I'm black, yes I am. Like I like his music. He has a good message. Like you just don't understand the message, just okay. You know, so it was a perfect time, man. When you dropped that, I was like, yes, I was like, that's funny.
See, like that's the best thing about like what you do. Like you control all your stuff. If you want to shoot an interview right now, you shoot an interview right now. If you want to release a reaction, you do a reaction. And like that's like when I say I work like this, it's like that, because I make my beats, I produce the records, and my girl shoots the videos, we edit them and put them out ourselves. So it's like I have my finger to the pulse of like Tom MacDonald's internet presence. So it's like very easy for me. I'm like watching this shit and I'm like, yo, like all these people are hating, everybody hates me. That's the record. We'll shoot it 2 days from now and we'll drop it next week. That's why the timing's so good. Like when you say, oh, it's perfect timing, because like a lot of these artists record 40 songs and then they have 40 songs in the bank, and then they slow roll these songs out prior to their album, and like maybe some of those songs were like intensely relevant when they wrote those songs, but maybe they don't connect with it anymore, or maybe the politics of their environment have changed and that song doesn't ring true anymore. For me, it's like, because we do everything ourselves and it's so self-sufficient, it's just really easy to have great timing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is where I'm at right now with my music. This is what people are saying right now about my music on the internet. So to me, this is the smart choice to make. So then I just literally write that song and have it. And that way, like, the music's true to me and my thoughts and feelings and my life at the time, and it's true to everybody else because they're also tuned into the same thing that I'm keeping my finger on. So it's like, that's a timing thing, but yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. That's a great way.
That's like a lot of stuff that we have to do. If we miss, you know, a reaction that's happening in the news right now, or if we miss, like, I mean, we haven't been able to buy Prime, so we missed out on that. We missed out on being able to try Prime when it was like in its hype.
Yeah, a lot of products that come out that like a lot of people want us to try because we're like when he's saying self-sufficient and independent and stuff like that. Like when he's saying he was living bad. If you could only see this, like we're fully independent, like we're self-sufficient as well. Like it's us two that run everything.
Yeah.
When he's saying that, you know, it really resonates with us, and it means a lot when the Hog fam as well comes in, and the Hangover gang just shows us so much love in the comments, and they make us feel a part of the Tom MacDonald journey with them. So you have no idea how amazing that feels when anyone really comes across and watches us and has a chat with us.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yes, we know he's done features since then, but he did also say, you know, I could change my mind. And it's some of the features that he has done, they brought up, you know, conspiracies and government issues and stuff like that. So he's found other rappers and other singers that also have some of the same thoughts as him. And he probably didn't think he could have at the time, so there we go. The internet's an amazing place. So let's get back into this.
Way to explain that, because I always say being an independent artist, it's really good. It's better than being signed to a label or telling, you know, having someone to tell you what to do, whatever, you know. Just like you said, you got your hand on the pulse of, you know, Tom MacDonald, you know, and that's 100% true. Everything you drop, it's perfectly timed, man, perfectly timed, and it sets the world on fire essentially. So you go on to If I Was Black, right. So you got a lot of mixed reactions from people, a lot of mixed reactions. Right. You know, me personally, I enjoyed it, and then, you know, I seen a few reaction channels that tried to try to take what you said and make you into like a slave owner essentially. And so when you was seeing all this stuff and you see, you know, one you know, particular instance is, you know, someone cut up a bunch of clips from reaction channels and try to make it seem like it fit their agenda. And obviously your fans and people that actually like watch the you know, the other reaction channels and stuff knew like that was a load of malarkey. But you seeing how everyone's divided, how did that like go? Like, what was that like something that you knew was gonna happen, or did it just randomly? It's just something that just happened. Like it just randomly happened.
I mean, I kind of expected it. I knew that, like, at this point in time, I have so much experience with that type of music that, like, I know that there's gonna be some people who love it and some people who hate it, and it's just like the way it is. And if some of those people that hate it are my fans, that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is, man. I've never, you know...
Even fans can't like everything.
Like, yeah, it's not possible.
A lot of, like, one of the main things people said about If I Was Black was, oh, he's pandering. He's pandering to black people right now because he wants black fans. And it's just like, to me, it's like, yo, guy, like, I made WHITEBOY.
Yeah, which is, I said the same thing.
I made straight white male. Like, I don't pander to anyone, period, ever. I don't care. Like, including my fans. I knew that, like, and I love my fans, bro. Most incredible, supportive group, community, like, on the internet. But, like,
that we've seen, they are.
Just because I love you doesn't mean that I'm not going to piss you off sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing things to make anybody like me.
Make that cool. Put on a t-shirt.
If people like me because of that, great. And if people don't like me because of that, then that's fine too.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, I don't know, dude. It's funny because when people say shit like, oh, like, this song's reaching, he's trying too hard with this song. If you could, like, naturally see how songs like that come about in my life, like it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Like I was literally, bro, I was shooting buttholes. The video that came out. I had a different idea for that video. I had a different treatment. It was like this talent show, and there was all these people performing, and it was this big fucking thing. And literally, like the day before, this is how If I Was Black happened. The day before, I'm supposed to go shoot the buttholes video. I'm sitting at this pizza shop with my girlfriend, eating this slice of pizza, and these two black guys walk in. And one's got like a tall, like flat top haircut, and the other guy has like sun bleached like braids, and he took the two front braids and tied them around the back of his head to keep all the other ones out of his face and shit. And I just like saw them walk in, and then like literally said to my girlfriend, I was like, yo, if I was black, that's like the hardest fucking hairstyle like ever. I would rock the shit out of that. And then I just thought about what I said, and I was like what a weird thing to say. If I was black, that's how I would wear my hair. And then I started thinking, if I was black, how else would my life be different? And how else would I, how would I dress? How would I look? How would I act?
Yeah.
Put it into perspective.
What would my life be like? How would people treat me? You know? And I didn't say any of this out loud. I was literally making notes in my phone. About like, yo, this is something. And I walked out the pizza shop, and I said to my girlfriend, I said, I just had a fucking brilliant idea for a song. She's like, what is it? I'm like, If I Was Black. And it's just a white guy's perspective of like, I watch the news, I read the headlines, I see this shit. How would I feel personally? Not how, I'm not trying to speak on behalf of black people. I'm not trying to say we deal with these problems, this is how the police treat us, this, that, and the other thing. I'm just saying, how would I personally feel? Me, Tom MacDonald, how would I feel if I was black? And I just used my imagination and just filled in the blanks and wrote the song. I literally wrote the song that day. And I said to my girlfriend, yo, I feel like on some level, this is the most important shit I ever wrote, so I'm canceling the fucking shoot tomorrow. I went $3,500 in the hole on the buttholes video, no pun intended, and canceled that video, got to work on the If I Was Black video, shot that, released it, and then went back and reinvested another $3,500 or $4,000 or whatever it was into shooting buttholes a second time, because I axed it because I thought If I Was Black was more important. And it just came about like literally as simply as that. Just one thought, and it just became a spiral. It wasn't like, how can I be the most controversial guy in the world right now? Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'm about like saying like what the fuck I'm thinking. Like, and you know, and that's really it. So yeah, so we did that record. A lot of people fucking didn't like it. A lot of people did like it. A lot of the main piece of criticism I got from people who weren't my fans were, don't think that you can speak for black people. And my whole thing is, I'm not speaking for black people. I'm speaking for myself. I'm using my fucking imagination. Shut the fuck up. And the main piece of criticism I got from my fans was, you're completely contradicting everything you said in White Boy and fuck da 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 da. And again, I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, I have contradicting emotions. I'm a fucking human. On Wednesday, I can feel like fucking White Boy, and on Friday, I can feel like If I Was Black. End of fucking story. How many times have you fucking met somebody or saw a TV show or whatever the fuck, they ate some food or something, and you're like, nah, I don't fuck with that, I don't like it. And then next week, you meet that person or watch that TV show or eat that food, and you're like, yo, this is kind of tight. Those are fucking conflicting emotions. Those are contradicting emotions. That's part of being human. So don't like tell me, I change every fucking day, bro. Like, my styling shit changes all the time. Like, sometimes I fucking wear my hair up, sometimes I wear my hat on backwards, sometimes I wear red, sometimes I just wear this type of shit because I'm comfortable in this today. I change every fucking day, I change every week. So don't, like if I want to completely contradict everything I ever fucking did next week, that's my fucking prerogative. That's how I'm changing. I'm allowed to fucking do that. I don't have to stay the same fucking person forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Obviously I get, like, heated about that shit.
I mean,
it's just like,
rightfully so, man. People come at you like crazy, man. And people seem to forget that we are, you know, humans at the end of the day. Artists are humans, YouTubers are humans. Like, we're all going to have our trials, our tribulations. We're gonna feel one way, we're gonna feel this way, you know. We're all humans at the end of the day. And people seem to forget that, you know. You're not just a fucking walking punching bag, you know.
And like, I don't know, what's the point of all this shit, bro? Like, after fucking White Boy, after If I Was Black, after fucking Straight White Male, after fucking Politically Incorrect, after any of those records, how long did fucking people talk about that shit after? A long fucking time. people were having conversations and like and having
all
discussions
we
and
know.
like, yo,
Yeah,
I
still
know
a-
that like
still a conversation.
if I was black and white boy and stuff like that, it's all very surface level. Because I'm not here to be like, those issues are too complex. I can't present every argument and give you all the insight that you want to get in 3 minutes. So I present very surface level shit. These are very basic ABC type feelings and issues. Y'all take that, run with it, have the conversations, and have the discussions as deep as you want to discuss it with one another. And that shit's important. How many people are walking around talking about, hey, like, how do you feel about Post Malone's Go Flex? And I fuck with Post Malone.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not going to sit around and have a conversation with somebody about that shit because there's nothing there to talk about.
Yeah.
So, like, that's, like, the whole point of this art shit.
And he
Literally,
got
the
a crap
point of
about it.
hanging a fucking piece
Yeah.
of art on the wall is, like, so people see it and you have a discussion about it. And it's like, oh, I think the artist was trying to portray this when he painted that, and da-da-da-da-da. And that's my music. Go talk about it.
Yeah.
That's the point. Don't be like, I don't want people to be like, oh, how you feel about Tom MacDonald? Oh, he's alright, whatever. I don't want take it or leave it. I love that guy, or I fucking hate that guy, and here's why.
Yeah.
And then those two people can talk about it and walk away from it, and that's the point.
There's a lot to unpack there in part 4. A lot of heavy stuff. Again, what you see behind from actually the artist, like what you're looking at with Tom, like, and like he said, the taker, he doesn't want to take or leave or whatever. He wants one or this. He wants strong reactions. He certainly gets them, and that's what I was waiting to hear about. The see the way he said the surface level.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting to hear. How in depth is he actually about the topics he's talking about, and the fact that he actually turned around and admitted himself, because I seen a lot of people going at him in comments and saying things about, oh, you know, you don't talk about this or that. The fact that he just outright turned around and said, it's surface level. If you want to do your research, you do your research, but I'm going to talk about this topic and that's that.
Yeah, that was good. It's like he's literally giving people talking points.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you want to look into it more, you can. If you don't, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's up to you. But he does have, like, even the stuff that we've listened to so far, we've been like, actually, we never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
So the way he's doing that, even if it is just surface level, it's still piquing people's interests. And that's kind of what you want. Well, if I was doing that type of music, that's what I'd want anyway. What about you?
I want everyone to come at it with loads of perspectives.
Yeah.
I want them to have the art and feel like everyone took something away different. The topics are controversial, they are. Like you said, surface level, but I'm glad he said it himself. But coming on a bit hard anytime he wants to talk about certain races and stuff like that, I don't, like, if he wants to talk about any topic, he can. The same way anyone in the world can talk about any topic if they can. Like, you know, our history, like, just going on the back of that, Irish history and stuff, it's discussed by other people. We have people trying to tell us about our history, and we don't shut them. Imagine if we turned around all the time and shut them down.
Yeah. I don't know whether this is just recently in the last number of years or not, but America seems to be just very focused on race rather than trying to integrate everybody and help everyone. It just kind of seems to be more segregated. But that's what we're getting from an outside perspective. That's what it seems like over here. Him even bringing that conversation up into light is probably really good as well.
Yeah, and I love the way he's trying to say, he's like, this person shouldn't have this or shouldn't have that. He's like, he likes everyone equally. He's like, everyone should be hated in their own right and should be liked in their own right. The scenarios he gives about when he's shooting the videos and how much he'll go for, like, if an idea is really striking and the art is really there, how much he'll just drop one and go and film the other straight away, like what he done with Buckles for If I Was Black.
Your new album drops Friday.
Hey!
Shameless plug, shameless plug. So, what can fans expect from the album? Do we get new songs, or is it like a combination of old songs? And where does Tom MacDonald go from here?
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, the album's 22 songs long.
Damn, Chris Brown.
You already know, bro. I don't play like,
I can be going on about
let
it.
me just see right here.
Yeah.
Like, this is my last album.
Just gonna also get the
Death
fresh
Threat.
new album.
Yep.
Okay, so there's 19 records on here. 19 songs on this album. So my whole thing was like, I wanted to outdo this album in every aspect.
Okay.
And like I was like really scared to start writing this album because I felt like Death Threats was so fucking good with like Dear Rappers and Hell of It, White Boy.
Got some bangers on there, man.
Yeah, like Castles, Politically Incorrect. Like there was some like big records on there, and it was like very intimidating for me to like try and follow this up. And I was like, how do I follow this up? And if I try to follow it up and I fail, how am I going to feel about it? Am I going to drive myself on the ground and I'm not going to want to make music for a while, or what's the deal? So I just like let this next album come about naturally, and I wrote like the first couple songs, and I was like, holy shit, this material is far beyond anything that I've ever done before. Let's go to town now. Like it gave me some freedom. I was like scared to like try and live up to the last project, but after the first record started coming out, I was like, okay, yeah, we're off to the races now. So I just like obliterated from like a songwriting standpoint. It's insane. The best beats I ever made in my life. Like I said, it's 21 songs long. I think there's or 22 songs long. So there's like I Wish, Sad Rappers, Everybody Hates Me. So there's like 5 or 6 songs, the singles that I've released. They're on there, but it's 22 songs long. So there's something like there's like 16 unreleased songs or something on there. And like the singles that I released, Everybody Hates Me, I Wish, da 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 da. Like I don't even think those are close to the best records on the album. I think like the best records on the album nobody's even heard yet. Okay. And like I'm gonna be like releasing those videos after the project comes out to serve the album. So yeah, I just feel like super fortunate to be able to like find a way to like outdo myself, not only in quality of music but in length of project. There's like no filler. Every song is smash. Okay. So yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it's like I started out thinking this needs to be the sequel to Death Threats, and now it's like turned into be like Death Threats like way harder Big Brother. So that's cool. And like as per like where do I go from here, like I musically speaking, like I'm finding myself in the same position. I think that name needs its own. How do I surpass this next album now? So I know it's going to happen, just like it happened last time, but I'm just gonna let it happen like I let it happen last time. I'm not gonna embark on this like thing where I have to write these huge songs. I'm just gonna let it happen like it already has, and that'll be cool. About to announce a couple like big tours coming up, and I have like low key like a side project or 2 or 3 that I've been working on for a minute that aren't like exactly like albums, but they're very, very strong side projects and different types of things I've been doing. So sweet. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish off this year like super strong with my album this Friday, August 30th. Every single copy is signed. It's www.hangovergang.com. And then yeah, I'm gonna go on tour a couple times, and 2020 is gonna be the craziest fucking year of my life. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you wasn't wrong.
Well, thank you for chilling with me, man. Simba TV exclusives here with Tom MacDonald. Go cop his new album dropping Friday, man. All links will be down in the description. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Subscribe to Simba.
Yeah, that part.
The family.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Tom MacDonald was absolutely right about 2020 being a crazy year, and I think we can all agree. Because it was.
It was a roller coaster, except you're not allowed off it. You have to keep going. Spinny, 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 spinny.
This is 2020 part 3.
So first off, of course, a very big shout out to Simba TV and Tom MacDonald. Make sure you check them out, give them a like, subscribe and share. And of course, a shout out to Hog Fam. And of course, most of all, a big thank you and shout out to Brandon for donating and making this series possible. So shout out to you for buying us those coffees.
How amazing. And just thank you again. We can't say thank you enough.
Thanks so much. These interviews have been mind blown. I think Brandon was saying he's excited for us to get to know Tom more. We certainly feel like we know a lot more about Tom MacDonald. We're understanding now, all you guys, on our Tom MacDonald reactions. when you guys are saying this isn't him, it's only surface level, it's art, he wants different perspectives on it. I think we're after learning a lot from this, and just how much himself and Nova really put the Tom MacDonald movement together, and especially how important like the Hog Fam, the Hangover Gang have been, because we will always remember when we first got our suggestion. From the first time we done a Tom MacDonald reaction after we got suggested, the Hog Fam, the Hangover Gang have just been instrumental and shown us a lot of love. Even when we put up a post on any other social media, you guys come through and you just show us so much love, or you give us more insight and have a great back and forth for us in the comments.
And even if we are disagreeing with Tom MacDonald, which even him himself said that was okay.
Yeah.
So don't come for us anymore. Even when you are saying we're wrong and stuff like that, the majority of the time it's a nice back and forward debate going on. Obviously sometimes people go a bit overboard, but it's the internet, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But most of the time the fans, yous are all just so lovely. Just lovely and nice, and keep giving us more suggestions, and yeah, thanks for showing us a lot of love.
So, of course, we'd love to know all your thoughts in the comments down below. We want to know what you guys think of this. Is there any more interviews like this? Any songs we should be looking at? Or maybe there's interviews we should be looking at. Any televised ones he may have came on, or any forum discussions we may need to see. Please let us know in the comments down below. Or if there's anything else, any other artists you guys are currently interested in you want to tell us about, please do that too.
Absolutely, because there's artists coming out every day that we don't know about. So drop it down below. And if you'd also like to help us out and buy me a coffee, the link is down in the description below. And we also take requests there as well. So if you donate to us and give us a request, we'll do it straight away.
So any of our donation links, if you have a request that has to be that you come through on that. So we've Patreon, buy me a coffee, or even any other way you see fit to donate, your request will be done immediately. That's been our 2 cents, and we'll chop ourselves out of this.